Hello, friends. Welcome back to day 3 of our English speaking challenge. I hope you're all feeling excited and motivated because today we're diving into a super fun topic, talking about your hobbies and interests. It's a great way to connect with people and make conversations more exciting. After all, who doesn't love talking about what makes them happy, right? Why talk about hobbies? Let's start by asking a simple question. Why should we talk about hobbies in English? Well, hobbies are more than just activities we do in our free time. They are a huge part of our personality. When you share your interests with someone, it's like opening a little window into your life. Imagine you're chatting with someone and you both love the same thing, like painting or reading. Instantly, you have a connection. For example, let's say you're at a party and you're feeling a bit nervous because you're speaking in English. But then someone asks, "What do you like to do in your free time?" And boom, you can start talking about your favorite hobby. It's a topic you're familiar with, so you'll feel more comfortable. And who knows, you might make a new friend who shares the same interests. How to talk about your hobbies? Talking about your hobbies in English is easier than you think. Here's a simple way to do it. 1. Mention your hobby. Start by saying what you love to do. 2. Explain why. Talk about why it's important to you or why you enjoy it. 3. Add a fun story. Share a small story or a detail that makes it more interesting. Let me show you an example. I love baking. It's my way to relax after a long day. Friend. That's awesome. What do you like to bake? I love making cakes. Last week, I baked a chocolate cake with strawberries for my mom's birthday, and she loved it. See, it's a simple 3-step process. You mention your hobby, explain why you love it, and tell a small story to keep the conversation going. Here's the fun part. There are so many hobbies you can talk about. Whether you're into sports, music, crafts, or reading, you can make any hobby sound interesting. Let's look at a few more examples to get you inspired. 1. Gardening. I've recently started gardening and it's become one of my favorite hobbies. I love growing my own herbs and vegetables. It's amazing to watch everything grow. Last week, I harvested my first tomatoes, and they tasted delicious. 2. Playing the guitar. I've been learning to play the guitar for a few months now. I practice every evening and I'm getting better. I can finally play my favorite song, and it feels so rewarding. 3. Running. I enjoy running, especially in the mornings. It clears my mind and gives me energy for the day. Last weekend, I ran my first 5K race, and I felt amazing crossing the finish line. 4. Painting. Painting is my way of expressing myself. I love experimenting with colors. When you talk about your hobby, don't just list it. Share your passion. Show people why it's special to you. Now that you know how to talk about your hobbies, here's a tip to keep the conversation going. After you share your hobby, ask questions about the other person's interests. Here's an example. I love reading mystery novels. I'm always trying to figure out who the bad guy is before the end. What about you? Do you like reading? Friend. Yes. I'm more into fantasy books, though. They take me to another world. See, you're not just talking about yourself, you're learning about others too. This makes the conversation more balanced and interesting. One of the most fascinating things about hobbies is the emotional connection they create. When you talk about something you're passionate about, your eyes light up, and your excitement becomes contagious. Whether it's painting, gardening, or playing the guitar, Each hobby carries a story, a memory, or even a lesson that shaped you as a person. For example, someone who loves running might say they started because they wanted to stay fit, but over time, they found it was their way of relieving stress and feeling free. Now, every run isn't just about fitness. It's a moment of peace, a time for them to clear their mind. When you share this level of emotional connection with your hobbies, people not only learn about your interests but also about what truly matters to you. Sharing how a hobby makes you feel can make the conversation deeper and more meaningful. For example, I've always loved painting, but it became a real escape for me during a tough time in my life. Every brushstroke feels like a way to express what I can't say in words. When you explain the personal reasons behind your hobby, it shows vulnerability, and that often strengthens bonds with others. Another interesting aspect of hobbies is how they evolve. Think about it, how many of us started doing something just for fun, but over time it became something much bigger. Maybe you started baking as a way to pass the time during lockdown, but now you're experimenting with complex recipes and even thinking of turning it into a business. Talking about how your hobby has grown or changed is another way to make the conversation more engaging. It also shows your dedication and passion. You could say something like, "When I first started playing the guitar, I only knew a few chords. But over time I started practicing more, and now I can play full songs. I'm even teaching myself some blues riffs." Learning through hobbies. Hobbies aren't just about fun, they're also about learning. Every time you pick up a new hobby, you're developing new skills, improving your focus, and sometimes even learning more about yourself. For instance, someone who loves gardening might learn patience and the importance of nurturing growth, while a person who enjoys playing chess hones their strategic thinking. Talking about what your hobby has taught you is a great way to show your self-awareness and reflect on personal development. You could say something like, "I've been playing chess for years, and it's taught me a lot about patience and thinking ahead. It's not just a game to me anymore. It's helped me approach challenges in life more thoughtfully." When you frame your hobby in this way, you're not only sharing what you enjoy doing, but also demonstrating how it has positively impacted your life. One of the best things about having a hobby is sharing it with others. It could be teaching someone else how to do it, or simply enjoying it together. Sharing a hobby can strengthen relationships, build friendships, and even create a sense of community. For example, if you love hiking, you might say, "I love hiking, but what makes it even better is when I can bring a friend along." Last weekend, I introduced one of my friends to my favorite hiking trail, and now we're planning our next trip together. This brings a social element into the conversation, showing that your hobby isn't just something you do alone. It's something that helps you connect with others. Whether it's playing in a band, joining a book club, or organizing a cooking night with friends, hobbies can become a way to bond with people and make unforgettable memories. Turning a hobby into a passion. Some hobbies become more than just casual activities. They become passions that drive you every day. Have you ever met someone who speaks so passionately about what they do that it makes you want to try it too? That's the power of talking about your passion. For example, what started as a hobby has become a huge part of my life. I used to bake just for fun, but now I'm creating my own recipes and thinking about opening a bakery someday. When you speak about your hobby as a passion, it shows ambition and love for what you do. This type of conversation can inspire others, and it also makes the interaction memorable. People will remember you as the person who's deeply passionate about something. Hobbies and personality. Hobbies reveal a lot about our personalities. For instance, Someone who enjoys writing might be creative and introspective, while someone who loves playing team sports could be more sociable and competitive. By talking about your hobbies, you're not just sharing what you do in your free time. You're giving people a glimpse into who you are. This could be a fun part of the conversation. You could ask the person you're speaking with what their hobby says about them. For example, I think my love for photography shows that I'm someone who likes to capture the beauty in small moments. What about you? What do you think your hobby says about you? This invites the other person to reflect on their own hobbies and makes the conversation feel more interactive. It's not just about what you enjoy. It's also about discovering what your interests reveal about your character. How hobbies help you relax. Life can get stressful, and that's where hobbies often play a huge role. They're not just about fun. They're a way to unwind and take a break from the chaos of daily life. You could steer the conversation in this direction by talking about how your hobby helps you relax. For example, whenever I'm feeling stressed, I like to paint. It helps me focus on something beautiful, and it's almost like therapy for me. Talking about the calming or therapeutic effects of your hobby adds a personal touch to the conversation. It's a great way to connect with people because we all have things we do to cope with stress. Day 3 challenge. Share your hobby. Okay, now it's challenge time. Are you ready? Here's what you have to do for day 3. 1. Write a dialogue about one of your hobbies or interests. Remember to mention the hobby, explain why you enjoy it, and add a small story. 2. Record yourself practicing the conversation. Don't worry if you make mistakes. This is all about improving. 3. Share your hobby in the comments and tell us why you love it. I can't wait to see what everyone's into. And hey, if you want to make your hobby talk more fun, you can add some humor. Here's a funny example. I'm a huge fan of collecting funny socks. I have socks with cats, donuts, and even dancing pineapples on them. Friend. That's hilarious. Do you wear them all the time? You? Of course. Who doesn't want to wear socks with little tacos on them while they're working? Sharing something quirky or funny about your hobby makes people laugh. And laughter is a great way to connect. Day 3 wrap up. Wow, you guys did an amazing job today. Now you know how to talk about your hobbies in English with confidence and excitement. Remember, hobbies are a great way to start conversations, and they make speaking English more fun. Tomorrow we'll dive into a whole new topic, so make sure you're ready for day 4. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated. I can't wait to see you again. Final thoughts. This challenge is all about giving you the tools to practice real-world English in a fun and engaging way. The more you talk about things that you're passionate about, the easier it will be to express yourself in English. Keep practicing, stay positive, and your English skills will grow faster than you can imagine.